Welcome, everyone. We are very excited and happy to have you with us in this hands-on webinar co-organized with HuggingFace on how to build machine learning collaboratively. A brief intro about MoroccoAI and who we are. We are an initiative led by AI experts in Morocco and abroad. Our main mission is to promote AI growth in Morocco and build a strong collaborative AI community both locally and abroad. So don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and join our community on Slack to be notified about our upcoming webinars and other activities. In today's webinar, Ali and I will be your hosts. I am Iman Khouja, a data scientist, and also I have a PhD in natural language processing, and I will let Ali present himself.
Hello everyone, I'm Ali. I'm an undergrad student studying computer science at Colab University, and I'm a core member at MoroccoAI and an assistant coordinator. I'm so happy that all of you managed to join us today, and let's all enjoy today's session with Emmanuel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much for the intro. So today we learn with Manuel Romero how to create machine learning apps and demos using open source technologies. Also, how to share them with the rest of the open source ecosystem. Manuel Romero is a HuggingFace fellow, an artificial intelligence engineer, and software architect at Narteva. With years of experience in the field, Manuel is considered one of the most prominent professionals in Spain in the field of natural language generation and the most contributor to HuggingFace Hub with over 300 models shared in the hub. To successfully follow this hands-on, you need to create a Google Colab and HuggingFace Hub account. If you haven't created them, please do it now. And if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them on the chat on Zoom or YouTube, and we will make sure to bring them up at the end of the presentation. The presentation will last for approximately 1 hour, followed by 10 minutes Q&As. And without further ado, Manuel, please, the floor is yours.
Let's start with the talk. So everybody can see the slides.
Yes, we can see them perfectly.
So we are going to talk about HuggingFace. For me, like a machine learning ecosystem where everything happens nowadays. As you can see here, we have two main pillars: models and datasets. But we will see that HuggingFace also has spaces. It's like kind of virtual machine where you can deploy your machine learning demos and show it to the rest of the world. And just let's start with a practical case. Let's say we want to build a summarizer. Okay, we have like a whole test, and we want to create a little resume. So what would we do? First of all, we would need to collect and clean data. Because as you know, we have to build a data set, and we can do it like scraping on the internet or gathering data from other sources, but as you know, it takes time, because then you have to process it and clean the data and so on. So it's not easy. Then we need to choose a model to train to do these tasks. Okay, so here we can see a kind of loop. Once we have our data set ready, as you know, we choose a model, in this case, a model for doing the summarization task. And we train the model, we evaluate the model on a whole partition, and we tweak the hyperparameters, you know, learning rate, epochs, and so on. And we train again, we evaluate, we tweak, and again, once again, in order to get the best results. But as you know, it can take a while. It can take time, and of course, you will need compute power for doing so. So, is there an easier way to do this task? Yes, we can follow the next principle: leverage work of machine learning ecosystem. Don't reinvent the wheel, because as you know, maybe there are already models that can do these tasks. Don't reinvent the wheel is important. HuggingFace believe a lot in collaborate fast culture, and as you know, everything there is open source. Okay, so it's like here you have like the strong principles of HuggingFace and the way they see machine learning ecosystem. So here we have like the landing page or of HuggingFace, where you can see a search space and their models, dataset space. We will see it in detail. In the HuggingFace hub, we can solve all kind of problems, all kind of machine learning problems. And they started with NLP, but now they just integrate, or they integrate time ago, let's say algorithms or model for speech, for computer vision, for bio application, time series, and reinforcement learning, and whatever domain interested in machine learning is interesting for HuggingFace. So if you are working on any domain that it's not there, it's not in the hub, please reach HuggingFace team, because it could be interesting for us, for the team. So here we have the main repositories of the HuggingFace family. The most important is Transformer, where everything started. Then we have datasets, tokenizers, Accelerate, HuggingFace Hub. And in this screenshot, we cannot see it, but they just released a new repo and a new big Python package. It's called diffusers that allow us to work with diffusion model, such as stable diffusion latest model. So how can I find models? In this case, we are going to we go to the live page. So I'm gonna share the live stream here. Okay, so here, as we can see, once we are in the main page, we have the search bar, as I said, models and datasets. And here, how we can find models? We can find models by the name here. If we type, it is going to suggest us a lot of models that match with this name. The model are sorted by, we can sort the name by most downloads, recently updated, or most like, as you want. We can even filter by task. Here in the left side, you can see we have different tasks. Translation, field mask. Field mask is for BERT or Roberta-like model. You know, you can like mask a word or a token and try to predict or figure out which word corresponds with the token. We have model for token classification, automatic speech recognition, sentence similarity, question answering, and a lot of those. Here we have different categories, as you can see. If we are working with computer vision, here are the classical problems or tasks. For natural language processing, here we have, again, a lot of tasks. For audio, even multimodal, for example, document question answering. For tabular problems and reinforcement learning. So once we have a task. Let's say we want to do a task of test classification, but we don't know which model to use. We can go back to the tag list. We have the first filter, test classification, and here we will see only models that are for this kind of task test classification. Okay, then if we have any preference for any library to work with, as you can see, there are a lot of integration. PyTorch, TensorFlow, JAX, Transformer, Keras. There are a lot of frameworks, so you can choose your favorite one, or you can, if you don't choose anything, it will show you all the libraries available. We can, once we have our task, we can say exactly the dataset the model has been trained on. Again, as you can see here, we have more than 1,000 datasets in the ecosystem. So we could even let's click on a dataset and see all the models that has been fine-tuned for this task. Another important filter is the language. We can say we want a model for classification, but we want it for a certain language. So if we click here in any language, let's say Spanish, my native language, we can see here only models fine-tuned for this task. And of course, we can filter out by license, and we can also see evaluation results and carbon emissions and so on. I will show you a bit about a model. Let's say we go for this model. This is a model that I create, and here we don't have too much documentation in the model card, but we should fill at least this model card, because this is very important to now to have the information about the models, the bias, the limitation, how to use it with the library. Here I report the test accuracy, but as much as we can report test metric, it's very good. And every model, as you can see here, has, or the most of them, has an inference widget. An inference widget, what it does, it's show us the model in action without any code. For example, this is, as I said, this is a model fine-tuned for a classification task in Spanish. And here we can type a sentence, and we can see the model in action just with a click. Here it says something like the restaurant is not the best, so the label is 0, that means negative. And if we go back, we can go to another language. For example, this one. This is for, as we said, for classification, sentiment classification, multilingual. And here we have a short description about the model. We have the statistics about the training data. Here we have the reports of the evaluation metrics, even a contact. And of course, if we click here, we can test the model. Here you can see you can customize the labels. Here it said, I like you, I love you. So it's like 5-star because the sentiment it's positive. But as you can see, if you say, for example, something very simple, I have you, and you go to compute, it will say 1 star because it's likely very negative. Another important thing, you can see here the filters. You can see it's test classification. It's available in PyTorch, TensorFlow, JAX, Transformer. It's covered, say, 6 languages. The base model is BERT, and the license is MIT. And another important thing here is space using this model. As I said, space are just like a virtual machine for deploying your machine learning demos. And if any of these space use any model in the hub, you will see here like a link. And if you click there, you will see the demo. Okay, so I can share again my screen. So in the model hub, we have more than 30,000 public models. We have a model for more than 20 tags, more than 15 libraries, as we have seen, and more than 180 languages. So it's we have a lot of resources. Here is the here we can do a small tour about the main feature, the model card. We have already seen the model card, but we can go here again. Here we have the model card for GPT-2. And well, as you can see, we have the model description, intended use and limitation. It's quite important to add this kind of section. How to use with the transformer library, or in TensorFlow. Here we have the different libraries, transformer, use it in pure PyTorch, use it with TensorFlow, limitation and bias. And here we have some tests in order to see if the model is racist or sexist or whatever. It's important to make this kind of test and let us and let people know that the model has limitation and bias. Of course, it's important to say which training dataset we have used. If you give more information about the training procedure, etc., it's like kind of better. And here we have the bytetext citation info. And in this kind of models, we also have models works like a GitHub repo. I think every one of you is like familiar with this kind of Git for version control. Here you have like the main branch, and we have seen here the different files in these repos. You can see this tag LFS, which means large file system, because under the hood it uses Git LFS for storage, for the storage or large files. As you know, some models and so on can take several gigas, so it's more efficient to store it using this mechanism. And recently, HuggingFace has included a new tab here, community, where you can add a new discussion. You can ask whatever about the model. You can do a pull request. You can do everything you want. You can see all the discussions or only pull requests, and you can participate, write something. You can add emojis. It's like a very complete feature. So I have to talk about interactive widgets, but we have seen already. Here we have the widgets. As you can see, it's a different, but it's quite similar to the widget for text classification, but it's different because this is a GPT-2 model. As you know, GPT-2 is a generative model. So if we type some text here and we click on compute, it will, as you know, try to generate a new text. You can see in a different color the the test that has been generated by the model. And here we can switch among different examples. Click again and test all the models. And again, as you can see here, this model is being used in a lot of space, treated by community, a lot of spaces. So it's very popular. I think it's one of the most downloaded model in the hub. It has 9 million of downloads per month. So it's like one of the most downloaded in the hub. We also have integration for TensorBoard. I will search any of my models and I will show you. For example, this is not the case, but here, if I sort by recently updated, and we go here, or yes, as you can see, if we train our model with the trainer API, HuggingFace has a trainer API which make it super simple to train models or fine-tune models. And when you use the trainer, when you use the trainer object, you can push everything to the hub. You can create the model and the model car on the fly, and it reports the loss, accuracy, or the metric you have defined. Here you can see that evaluation results are self-report because it's reported by the trainer object. I didn't do anything. Well, I have some here. Also, you can see the training result epoch by epoch, all the framework version I have used. And what I wanted to show you here is if you have training metrics and you use something like TensorBoard, many people use TensorBoard for tracking their experiments. You can upload it to the model card, and you will see here the TensorBoard logs or graphs. Here we have for the evaluation, we have accuracy, F1, and here we have for the training and the loss, and well, we can play with it and we can do whatever we want. And well, another important thing is that we can also see the CO2 emissions. We can see the carbon footprint for the models, which is very important because, as you know, training some of this kind of big models requires like a lot of resources. And here, for example, you can see that these tags that say carbon emissions, and if you click here, you can see all the model that has information about the carbon footprint. Okay, so that's another important feature. And here we can see the carbon emission for training this model in this case. So as I said, it's something important too. And well, that's all what I wanted to show you about the model card. And I don't know if you have any question right now at this point. Any question there?
Okay. Hi, Manuel. We have a couple of questions actually. Let's see. Okay, first question is from Hanan, and she's saying, what is the difference between HuggingFace and Kaggle, and what's the added value of the platform? She means HuggingFace.
For me, Kaggle is like just for competition. Kaggle is a platform that allows you to learn a lot from master and people who knows a lot about machine learning, because they try to compete and they try to learn competitions. It's true that there are a lot of notebooks and a lot of resources that can help you a lot there, but it's just, for me, it's a complete different platform. It's just for me, it's more like for competitions. And HuggingFace is like a whole ecosystem. As you can see, we have models there, we have data sets, we have everything. We have all the pieces to build something, to create, to share, to deploy. So it's different platforms.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Manuel. Another question, more technical one actually, and Amin is saying, what is the difference between GPT models and BERT, and why GPT is more successful?
GPT,
yeah.
Okay. A GPT model, let's say when we talk about transformer for NLP or NLG, we have like three kinds of architecture. We have encoder-only models like BERT and Roberta, are the most famous model. We have decoder-only model like GPT, and we have encoder-decoder model like T5, for example, Google's T5. And the difference is the architecture. Encoder-only model usually works for tasks like text classification or sentiment analysis, natural language inference, and so on. And generative model or decoder-only model like GPT-2, GPT-3, and so on are more like for generative task or tasks that you have to solve generating tests. And sec-to-sec model or encoder-decoder model can you have the best of both worlds. It's different architecture, but it doesn't mean you cannot use encoder-only model for generating tests, because you can use, for example, two BERTs or two Roberta models. HuggingFace has like an API for this, and you can use the first like encoder and the second BERT or Roberta like a decoder. And if you add a language modeling layer on top of the second model, you can generate also tests, and it works. So yes, it's like a different architectures.
Okay, thanks. I think that's all for now. We can proceed
Continue
to the hands-on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. So as you can see here, you can use you can work with HuggingFace tools or frameworks with the library you love the most. You can use PyTorch, Keras, you can use Jax, you can use whatever you want, and it's quite easy. Here you can see that with a few lines of code, you can define a Keras model, you can train the model, and with this command, push to have, you will push your model to the hub, will overlay its metrics, will with everything what you need to work with the model, and automatically you will have like an inference widget where you and the rest of the people can test your model, and of course you can also create them a radio demo to show the model. So here we have like the usual workflow. We go to the model hub, we pick a pre-trained model for the task we want. We train it or fine-tune it using a data set. of course, we can train a model from, we can pre-train a model or train a model from scratch, because the model have or the data set has very large data set, or the data set that has been used to train the most popular language model, like C4, Wikitext, and so on. So you can also pre-train a model from scratch, but of course you will need a lot of compute. And the usual workflow is to choose a model, fine-tune or pre-training, and then choose a data set, fine-tune the model on the data set, and push the model to the hub. This way we can share it with the rest of the people. And it's important to say we can also upload a private model and private data sets that we can only use if we provide our token, our personal token. So if you are working in some kind of project you don't want to show, or you don't want to still show to people, you can create a private model or repo or data sets. There is no problem. And well, about data sets, it's the search interface is similar for as the interface for models. You can see in the left side, we can filter by category. We can choose data set for text classification, text generation, question answering, machine translation, language modeling. We can filter out by language, by multilinguality, whatever we want. Of course, we can see here again the most downloaded data sets. If someone wants to know why Glue it's one of the most downloaded data sets, it is because it's like the classical benchmark for testing a language model in English, Glue and Super Glue benchmark. So many people, when create a new NLP model or language model, test it against Glue to see how does it work against other models. So about the dataset hub, it's the largest hub of ready-to-use datasets. We have more than 3,000 datasets available, and more than almost 500 languages and dialect support right now. Okay, as you can see here, using a dataset is as easy as 2 lines of code. We import the datasets library, and here we type the dataset name. In this case, is IMDb. It's like for a dataset for text classification or sentiment analysis for movies, you know. And as you can see, we can load any dataset in one line. It's datasets support huge dataset without run limitation. Datasets have a feature that allow you to load the samples or the samples in the dataset on the fly. If you don't have enough disk and you want to try or train or pre-train a model on a huge or large dataset, you can load the examples on the fly, processes, tokenize it, and feed it to the model. So you don't have to store the whole dataset in your disk. And it's super fast. It works under the hood with Apache Arrow, if I don't remember bad, so it's super efficient. Well, now if you don't have more questions, we are going to see the second part, that it's about building machine learning demos with Gradio and HuggingFace. But I want to be sure everybody here knows how to search for models and datasets in the HuggingFace Hub. And if you have any questions, this is the moment.
We have other questions you can ask right now. We have a question that are you planning to support GPU and HuggingFace platform and spaces?
if you create a space, we will talk later about the spaces, but by default, Hugging Face spaces are virtual machine with CPU. And if you want to use it with a GPU, you have to ping the Hugging Face team. And as far as I know, if your demo of your machine learning model, it's like not important, but it's like many people is interested in using it, they will give you a GPU for playing with it. But by default, it works on CPU. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for this clarification, which take us to the next question. Question is, can we use the CPU to train models inside the Hugging Face spaces?
Yes, you can. I think you can use the CPU to train or fine-tune model. They have a library that it's called Optimum, if I don't remember, but and another library called Accelerate that allows you to use or if you don't have like very powerful hardware, you can do something in this kind of work. You can try some or fine-tune some kind of models. But as you know, if I recommend you, you can use Google Colab free account. As you know, you have like a humble GPU, or so you can work with that, because in CPU it will take a lot.
Okay, so for the sake of time, I will just ask one last question and leave the other question at the end of the presentation. So I have a question from participants who is asking, how can we sort data sets by dialects? So we find the one that we are looking for.
I'm gonna show you how we can do it, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
It's the same as for models, but let me share my screen. Okay, here, if we go to the main Hugging Face page, when you have your profile, you will see here if you like a data set, your activity, what you have updates, something like that. You can see here one of the latest thing I've done is like, maybe you have heard about Whisper, the latest model of OpenAI. This kind is open, it's really open, and it's like for automatic speech recognition. So I create a demo in very few lines of code. It's quite easy. But for filtered datasets, we can go here to the menu and go for datasets. And here in the left side, you can see languages. And when we click here, as you can see, we have tons of languages. So just you just have to click on one of these. Okay. You just have to, here there are many. You can go for Arabic, for example. And here you can see all the data set that includes text in Arabic. Many of these data sets are not like monolingual. Are just, for example, in this case, a string is like a validation data set for multilingual models. So it will have like here, as you can see, it will have like subsets for different languages. Okay. So here, as you can see, we have for Portuguese, Russian, Sweden, and there are many multilingual datasets. But when you filter by a language, of course you have multilingual and monolingual datasets. Here you have, for example, the famous X-Squad dataset is kind of a squad for fine-tuning a model for question answering, and you have here the Arabic subsets. So it's quite easy to load the model. As we can see, as we have seen before, it's like install the dataset library, and we can load it like with this name. This is the name of the library. If we click here, we copy it directly. and it's quite easy, as you can see. And another feature that they have implemented not long time ago, I want to show you, it's the HuggingFace leaderboard, because maybe you have, for example, this data set and you want to choose a model. You don't want to train maybe a model for multilingual question answering. You want to choose or pick one in the HuggingFace hub, and you want to, of course, you want to choose the best model. If you go to the HuggingFace leaderboard, you will see like kind of metrics of for each data set or model in the hub. Here, for example, we can. This is a very useful feature. And here we have, there is only one model fine-tuned on these data sets. And here we have the metric, Rouge, Meteor, Bird Score, Sacre Blue. But here in this interface, we can again choose a task and choose, and then we can choose a data set. There are thousands of data sets. Here we have, if the data set has different configs, we can choose a config, because if it is multilingual, maybe you want to choose just one language and so on. So it's a very beautiful, a very nice feature in order to check models that are trained on the same dataset, because maybe you want to choose the best. And here, for example, if we go for blue dataset, another thing you will see here, it's a list of models that has been trained on Glue. Here, for example, this is me. I have trained the Berta version 3, and yes, you can also see which species are like using this dataset. It's kind of the same for model. You have the same filters and the same features. Basically, also you can go to paper with code to check another leaderboard or metric or papers about the dataset or this model. You have kind of everything here. You have also this feature, training auto train, and training auto train. It's a HuggingFace feature that's allowed you to choose a dataset and a model, and basically with 2 clicks you fine-tune the model on this dataset. So it's super easy. And evaluate model, it's just for us, as we have seen before. It's you choose a data set here, you choose two, three, 4 model, and this application will say you which model is the best based on the dataset metrics. So, okay, if you want, we can continue with Gradio.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for this insightful tutorial. Yes, we can carry on with the presentation.
Welcome. I've like collaborated with HuggingFace for more than 2 years or 3 years, so I know this like my home. It's like I know everything, every hole here.
Yes, we can see that. Thank you.
So here again, if I share my screen, we are going to go to talk about Gradio. Why machine learning demos are important? It is quite important because if you have a model and you want to show it to the rest of the world, you will need a demo. You need a way to show your work, your model. We will see how to build a demo, the old way and the new way with Gradio. And of course, we will see some code about how to create a simple and easy demo with Gradio and HuggingFace spaces. So here we have some reason why to do a demo, because easily to present to a wider audience, increase reproducibility of research, and diverse users can identify and debug failure points. As you can see here, or we will see later, you can flag an example if it's not right. You can take a screenshot. You can do a lot of things. Here we are like watching a demo for, as you can see, images classification. So here we have again some like stats and number about HuggingFace datasets, but we have already seen the most of them, so we can continue. Have you ever built or a demo for machine learning? I bet many of you have already done. So let's say the old way was like create, if you work with Python, like create a backend with Flask or Fast API, and then you have to do a front end. And for the front, you need at least to know a bit of CSS and JavaScript. So it's not easy. Maybe you also want to make a Docker container. So you need like several skills to show your model. It can be a bit frustrating, as you can see here. So here is like the old way to build demos. You train a model with your favorite framework. You containerize and deploy your model. You store its incoming example in a database like MySQL, and then you build a user interface with HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So as you can see, you have a big stack of framework and technologies you have to know about. It's not easy. The new way to build demos with Gradio, you train a model in your favorite framework, and then everything else it's done with Gradio. Containerizing, storing incoming example, and build an interactive front end. And here we can see one of the most famous demos in the HuggingFace spaces. It's Jojo Gun that, as you can see here, you can. It's a gun. You can upload the picture of you, for example. It will give you, in this case, like your Disney character version. So it's just one of the demos you have in the platform. Here you have a demo for NLP, a new summarizer. Here you can write the URL of the article you want to summarize, and under the hood you have to implement the logic to scrape the article. You pass it to a summarization model, and you see the result. It's quite easy, and you can, even as you see in the bottom, you can provide like some example. You know it work well, in order to make it easier to understand what your application does. Here we have seen images of picture. We have seen tests. Here we have also a demo for audio. In this demo, we can compare two voices to check if it's the same speaker. We can implement a kind of authentication system based on the voice with this. And here we have the easiest way, the simplest way to create a Gradio demo. We have, of course, to install and import the library. It's Python. We create an interface. We can say which kind of problem we are going to solve. In this case, classify image. It's as easy as say, what are our inputs? If we are going to classify images, it's going to be an image. And what are our outputs? In this case, of course, it will be a label with the predicted class. So as you can see, if you type these 2 lines and execute it, you will see the demo that you already are watching on the right side. It's quite simple. Okay, so here, if you go to HuggingFace spaces, we are going now there. Here you will see the most important, well, the spaces of the week. Spaces or demos is the same. We have the different categories. The most relevant demos or spaces of the week, the most relevant of all times. and we can of course sort it by recently updated, by most likes, and create a new demo is as easy as click here. Here you, of course, you will have your account. We have to provide a name for the space, a license if we want. We click on radio demo. We say if it is public or private, and if we click on create demo, create a space. In this case, here we can clone our space or demo and add some logic. For example, this basic logic and push it. It works, of course, with Git, and we have our demo ready. It's as easy as you are watching here. So here we can, well, this is like one of the demos or spaces in the platform that has had a lot of users, because it's anime again to create like an anime characters. You can visit it there, and it was like very popular in social networking. Well, here we have here we can see that it's not so difficult to build demos with for machine learning or software engineers with this kind of framework like Gradio. So we are going. I don't know if we are running out of time. I don't think so. But we are like code a bit and see how Gradio works. So if you want, if you click on this link, it will appear a Google Colab where you can follow me and watch me code it and see how it works. I don't know, maybe I can put it in the chat.
Yes, please, if you can share it with us in the chat so everyone can go and check by themselves.
Okay, anyway, I will leave the link. I have seen a question here. Why Gradio and not the Streamlit? You can use whatever you want. Gradio, because it's in my opinion, is the fastest way to create a demo. Fastest and super simple. But of course, you can use Streamlit too. Another question. What are the advantages of pre-trained model? Pre-trained model, as they have seen a lot of data during the pre-training, a lot of tests, they have acquired like some kind of knowledge to it, and so it's not too expensive to train or to fine-tune it in a downstream task, because otherwise you have to do it from scratch.
So we are taking notes of the question to leave them at the end of the session, so that we will have enough time for the demo.
Okay. Can you see my Colab, Google Colab demo?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So here, as you can see, I have installed Gradio. It's as easy as pip install Gradio. Here we.
Emmanuel, yes. Please, could you please share with us the link so that we can?
Yes, I have shared it in the chat, but
I think it should be addressed to everyone in the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, we have it. Thank you.
Okay, do you have it in the chat? Have you seen
the
link? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we are going to build a super simple demo, and we have to define our logic. What we are going to do here is to apply a filter, a sepia filter over an image. So here we define the sepia filter, and we do the the proper operations, and create the Gradio demo is as simple as you can see here. We have import Gradio as gr, and we say we want to create an interface where the logic will be the function sepia, as you can see here. Inputs, of course, it's gonna be an image, and outputs is, of course, it will be the same image but with the filter. So if we say launch, it should work. Well, this is not this is not the demo we have created, because the interface you can see here is like kind of transcript. So I don't know why it is like creating this demo, because it's not the function we have defined. Let's try again. Oh, okay, here. Well, as you can see, we just implement our logic. We can create all the user, all the front end. It's as simple as this, as create one line of code, as you can see here. And here we can drag and drop our image, or we can send a picture from our local computer. And we will see how here I have a picture of bird. So if we do it, sorry. If we click on send, this is, it has done like an automatic translation, and it says MBR, it means submit. And voila, here we have our sepia filter applied to the picture we have sent. So it's, as you can see, it's quite easy to create a demo with Gradio. Okay. So here we will see another demo. This came for work with audio, with well not the speech, but here, as you can see, the interface is a bit more complex. The first argument is always the logic, the function that work with our inputs. So here we have generated it. It receives a note, a musical note, and the octave and the duration. So here we have, after the main function, we have the inputs. If we have several inputs, we define it as an array, as you can see here. First input is a dropdown where we can choose a note. Second input is a slider for the, we can see here, for the octave pattern. And third input is the duration in seconds, so it will be a number. And here the output, we say it's audio, what we are going to output. We can give a title to the demo. It's always as easy as you can see. The function with the model or the logic, we are going to do the inputs, outputs, and some other parameter as the title. If we click here, we can choose a note. We can choose the tape pattern and the duration, 3 seconds, submit, and voila. Well, we can go for another example. Here, for example, we can directly load a demo for a speech recognition task with this parameter, Gradio interface load. As you can see, if you here we didn't create the input, we didn't create a function with the logic, we didn't create the output. Gradio is such powerful that it detects or it knows that this model, this is a model, is for text to speech. So it's automatically create for us the interface for typing the test, submit, and will generate the audio. So as you can see, it's quite powerful. It's automatically knows let's say the default inputs and outputs. Here we can see another example for that. Many of you know the GPT-G6b by HuggingFace. It's kind of a GPT open source model with 6 billion of parameters, and in this case, it's like the previous one, but this time it's a generative model, and we are sending also some examples. As we can see, it automatically now sees a text-to-text input and output. So here we can type whatever and submit it, and we will see it in the output, or we can choose an example and click on submit, and the model will continue the test. It's quite powerful. We don't have even to define the input and outputs if we don't want. And the last part, hosting this kind of demos is for free in HuggingFace space, as I have already shown you. So it's well, that's it. If you have any question, I can answer you. It will be a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Manuel, for this insightful tutorial and demo on how to use HuggingFace tools and models. So we have some questions from the participants. I will start with the first one. It's about natural language generation. So we have Hassan asking you specifically if you have a favorite model in NLG today and what impresses you about it, and what do you think about Google Duplex?
About which model?
Google Duplex.
Duplex.
Yes.
Well, I don't know too much about that model. I can't say you too much about this. But the first question is about natural language model, and what do you want to know exactly?
About the natural language generation, what is your favorite model to work with?
Nowadays, I use a lot GPT-G, this one. Okay. GPT-G, here, sorry. This one. It's quite powerful, but it's it's quite big. Also, you need like a powerful GPU to have fast inference, or not fast, but in order not to be so slow. And it has few shots. I like it because it's few shot capabilities. I don't know if people knows about few shots. Few shot is like you prepare, if you want, for example, to if you want to do sentiment analysis with a generative model, you can give to the model some example. For example, you can give in the prompt of or the test of the model, you can say, I love dancing, this sentence is positive. I hate programming, this sentence is negative. And I want to walk with my friend, this sentence is, and send everything to the model, and the model will will say, or you expect to say if it is positive or negative. So for me, GPT-G6b is like quite powerful for this kind of few shots tasks. It can do like many tasks without fine tuning. Of course, because fine tuning such a big model is not cheap and it's not easy.
Thank you, Manuel, for your answer. We have another question from participants who is asking about Gradio. Can you use it locally on our machines, or we have to use it on like here in Google Colab or in HuggingFace?
No, you can use it wherever. You can use it in your local machine. You can use it in a Google Colab. In fact, if you use it even in your local machine or in a Colab, it will also provide you a URL. As maybe you are watching it here, that you can share with your friend or your colleagues or with whoever, and they can also test your model. You have only here to put this parameter. When you say launch, you have put here share equals true. Okay.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Manuel, once again. So I have one question about the Google Colab and Gradio. So can we fine tune a model here on Google Colab, then use Gradio and the prompt on the interface loaded on the Google Colab?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we are done with the question. I will just have a small look on YouTube if we have other questions. Yes, I think we ended the quiz.
Anyway, if you have any question, you can reach me on Twitter, and I will answer whatever you want. If you need Colab for training models or whatever, I have done a lot of stuff for. I have trained, as said before, more than 300 models, so I can share with you code to train model, to make it demos or whatever you want, or I can, if you want any kind of advice about which model should I use for this task, it will be a pleasure to answer.
Thank you very much, and please follow Manuel Romero on Twitter. He is very active in there, and if you have any questions, please ask him directly. Thank you very much, Manuel, for this demo tutorial session. It was very insightful. We learned a lot about HuggingFace space and the open source ecosystem, and thank you for the audience and the participants that stayed till the end. And please, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Manuel. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure for me.